So a couple of weeks ago, we did the first 3-hour live stream where I basically started breaking down Plato's account line by line. What did he actually say?
First of all, that 9,000 was the sum of years which had elapsed since the war which was said to have taken place between those who dwelt outside the Pillars of Hercules and all those who dwelt within them.
Let's look at the geology, let's look at the geography, the oceanography, the astronomy, and see if it lines up, if it matches up.
Of the combatants on the one side, the city of Athens was reported to have been the leader and to have fought out the war. The combatants on the other side were commanded by the kings of Atlantis, which, as was saying, was an island in greater extent than Libya and Asia, and when afterwards sunk by an earthquake, became an impassable barrier of mud to void.
And so I think there's one place that pretty much is, not all the details, but when you look at all of the areas around the planet that have been proposed for Atlantis, I think there's one place that fits the majority of his details, and that's the sunken Azores Plateau. And I say sunken because we know it's sunken.
Forcing aside, let's see what his texts actually claim. According to Plato, in 10,000 BC, at least 4,000 years before any archaeological evidence suggests that there was a settlement at all, the thriving city of Athens was facing a technologically advanced competitor who was about to destroy them. This enemy was far larger than the continent of Europe entirely. And according to Plato, it was located just outside the mouth of the Mediterranean, just past where the Greek maps ended.
And it's right along the mid-Atlantic ridge. In fact, since we're on this subject, and I wasn't even thinking we'd get on this subject, there's the Azores Plateau right there. It straddles a triple plate junction, which you have the European plate, the African plate, and the North American plate here.
Oh, it's up near Nova Scotia?
Yeah, it's far north. It is.
He claimed it was a perfectly terraformed continent with concentrically ringed island center, somewhat similar to the world islands of Dubai today, except on an unbelievably massive scale. He claimed it was the size of both North Africa and the Middle East combined, or as he called them, Libya and Asia. He said it was so close to Gibraltar that when it sank, a sandbar blocked the strait, and from then on, the Mediterranean could no longer access the Atlantic Ocean.
But notice over here, it's really almost at the same latitude as Spain. See? And I would say that if there's any place on the planet that is most consistent with Plato's account, that's it right there.
Why is that? Without doing an 18-hour presentation.
Oh, come on, Joe. Can't we have pizza brought in?
We can.
What's more, according to Plato's Egyptians, the island continent was created by the Greek god Poseidon as a cave to have sex in, and his kingdom was ruled by his son, the world-carrying Atlas, hence Atlantis, Atlas's island. He was also a titan, by the way. Their king was a literal demigod giant. Yet, according to this supposedly factual story, the only thing that the Egyptians remembered about these divine imperialists who conquered all of Europe and North Africa was their relation to the city of Athens, a city that would face an army the size of the known world combined and defeat it alone due to the sheer political purity of their republican ideology.